Hey babes,
I'm Madeline.
and I'm Deja.
And welcome back to the Elegance Exchange.
Today's episode today's episode is going to be a little fun. It's going to be a little bit more outside of our comfort zone, but I think it's something very, very important, and that is to make friends.
Yeah, clearly. Deja is definitely the go-getter. She is the one who is talking to anybody. Literally today she was talking to some random stranger and I was like, okay. She will quite literally make friends anywhere she goes, and I'm a little more closed off, so I'm going to be listening to these tips as well.
And if anything, like, that's what you want to, like, that's kind of like the image you want to get. Like, whenever you enter a room, you kind of want to have that. There's no better feeling than it is, like, whenever you say that and you're like, oh yeah, she makes friends with anyone, like, with anyone and everyone. And, like, that's such a good feeling, because honestly, people like to be around other, you know,
friendly people.
Friendly people, exactly.
So I think one of the biggest things that I'm definitely guilty of is whenever you walk in a room, 1, make eye contact, 2, smile. Because I will walk in a room and I'll be like, scanning the room, not making eye contact with anybody, dead face, like super serious, look like I don't want to talk to anybody or do anything.
Yeah, like she likes that, like, instigating, like, not instigating, she likes that, what is it called? Intimidating type of look. Like, she'll tell me all the time, she'll be like, I just want to look like intimidating and like boss lady, and I'm like,
yeah, like put together, not like me, but
no,
like
of course
put
not
together,
me, but
you know,
yeah.
And whereas Deja's like my little, like, I'm like the Doberman, and then she's the little, like, smiley golden retriever. She's like, yeah.
Hi. And if anything, that's my biggest thing too. Like, whenever I walk into a room, like, I always make sure I smile, because I don't want people to look at me and think like, oh, she's definitely mean, like, you're rude or you're stuck up. Because it's like, I don't, you know, I don't ever, that's my biggest fear. Like, you don't want someone to look at you and be like, oh, I just thought you were mean the whole time, to be honest. Like, you know, like, you usually meet your friends and they always tell you, and you're like, no, I thought you were really rude at first. Like, I thought you would hate me. And it's like, now, Madeline, I don't mean to look at you the whole time, but, and so it's like, you know, but if anything, like, you almost just want to look approachable.
Inviting, you know?
Yeah.
I always, if there's a situation where I don't know anybody and I'm walking into a room, I always go to the first person that smiles at me. And so then I'm like, you're stuck with me.
Exactly. Like, and if anything, it only takes one conversation. Like, it only takes like one hook.
Exactly.
So like, whenever you're walking to a class and the teacher's like, okay, hey, get in groups of 2, and you're like, I don't know anyone. Like, you just look around, and like, my biggest go-to is like, oh, do you know what you're doing? And they'll be like, no. And I'll be like, oh, good, me too. Okay, we can be partners or something like that.
Exactly.
So you kind of just have to, like, pitch yourself out there.
Yeah.
But like, similar to Madeline, like, I always know who to talk to based off like the first impression they give me, because your first impression is everything. And I know we grow up, you know, saying that, but like, it really is. Because like Madeline said, like, if I'm nervous in a room, I'm gonna look for the nicest looking person there is, because I'm not gonna, you know, if you make me nervous, if you make me kind of scared, I'm like, obviously I'm not gonna go talk to you.
Right. And if you're on the other side of that, how nice is it to know that somebody comes up to you and feels comfortable with you?
Exactly. And like I said, like, just a simple smile, and like, you never know.
Yeah.
You never know who's going through something. Like, you don't know how their morning started off. You don't know what they're dealing with in their life. So it's always nice to just
be nice,
smile. And I know some people do have some really bad RBFs. Like, some people really do have some bad RBFs. But then, like, you see them smile and you're like, oh wait, okay,
they're nice. Cool. They're nice. Yeah, exactly. And the amount of compliments you will get too if you are just unapologetic. Anytime I'm out with her, she makes eye contact with somebody and then they say something. They're like, oh my gosh, like, you're so sweet, or oh my gosh, you're so beautiful, oh my god, I love your hair. Literally just smiling and like making eye contact with them opens up so many conversations. And now if you're getting sketched out by somebody, yeah, maybe don't smile at them.
No, don't. We get that a lot. Don't
do it. But like, if it's, you know, say you're in a makeup store and you are not feeling that confident, just like smile at somebody, you know? 9 times out of 10 they're gonna compliment you, and
they're gonna come up to you and be like, oh, hey, you know, like, I like what product are you looking at, or like, what help do you need? I think another big thing too is like, really, what's it called? Oh my
Put
God.
yourself out there?
Yeah, no, exactly. Sorry, I was spacing out.
It's okay.
Really, like, just putting yourself out there. And you kind of have to be okay with people talking to you, you know?
Yeah.
Like, if you want to make friends, you can't just sit around in the corner and look lonely and...
Expect no, because honestly, we are so attracted by confidence. It's so true, and you know, it kind of sucks because I feel like all of us inwardly don't feel confident, but if you portray this confidence, people are going to gravitate towards you. Think about any time, you know, you have ever gone to somebody or you thought somebody was so cool. It's because they're confident.
Yeah. Or, like, you want to be someone that people feel comfortable with, if anything, too. And so, like, you really have to put yourself out there. Like, if you want to meet people, you can't just be sitting at a table by yourself.
No, yeah, it's not going to happen.
And, like, most of the time, like, I have to step outside of my comfort zone. Like, yes, I'm very talkative. I'm very, like, energetic. I can go and talk to someone. But at the same time, like, it takes a lot for me to just go up to a group of people and be like, hey, you know, like, I kind of have to...
Yeah, you just have to understand that fear of rejection and kind of just go with it.
Or, like, just...
You can't overthink it.
Or, like, if you see someone that in the same class with you and you see them outside, like, in the cafeteria, you go and compliment them and be like, hey, you know, like, your sweater, or, you know, like, kind of, like, slowly create a connection with them, so then whenever you see them in the class, you're like, oh, hey, like, what's going on?
Yeah. A good example...
Oh, boy.
A good example of this is, you know, if you see somebody you know, kind of know, you don't know them that well out in public, and you see them, make eye contact and smile. Don't pull at me. I get so nervous and I freak out inwardly. And this happened last week.
It did at Target.
I saw one of my classmates and I freaked out because I don't know them that well, and so I didn't know what to do, because if it's somebody you know, you're gonna go say hi. But, like, I don't know them that well. And so I freaked out and I was like, oh my gosh. And so I avoided eye contact at all cost. And now they probably think that I hate them.
Exactly.
So we don't want to do that.
Like, let's
Take
think
it from me.
Let's think from another perspective. Like, if you're talking to this person in class and, like, you guys are chatting and then you see them in public and they're like... I'd be like... Yo,
Yeah.
What did I do?
What's
like, are you
going on?
okay?
I know, and then you, the person who ignored them, feel bad because you're like, well, shoot, you know, like, now they probably think that
You probably think they hate.
So, you know, take that one from me. I still have some self-growth to do. You know, we're not all perfect. But yeah, definitely don't ignore them.
And one of the biggest things, too, like, we preach it all the time on this podcast, all the time. We can't stress it enough. You have to be friends with people you want to surround yourself with.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
Like, if you're trying to go and talk to these super cool kids, but these cool kids aren't your type of vibe, but you just want to go and look cool and hang out with them, then I think maybe we should try and...
do some self-reflection on that one.
Yeah, I think so, too, you know?
Yeah. I think that's such an easy thing to get into whenever you are in high school or maybe even in college. You know, you try to find the cool cliques and you try to blend in with them, or maybe, you know, you're dating somebody and they're in with the cool clique, but, like, you know, they do things that you don't agree with, or you're not that type of person.
Yeah, and you're kind of, like, looking back and being like,
That's not making friends. That's going with
The flow.
crowd.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even want to say going with the flow, because that seems,
you know,
like,
that's...
positive. But it's, you know, you're getting almost manipulated or peer pressured. That's the word. Peer
No, yeah,
pressured
exactly.
into doing stuff that you would never do if you were with these quote unquote friends.
Mm-hmm. And I think another thing that most people have trouble understanding is that you don't need a lot of friends. You
No.
really don't. Like, I know in middle school, I tried everything I possibly could to get as many friends as I could, because, you know, I was scared of being alone.
Aw.
So I always had someone to resort to, as bad as that sounds. But, like, those friends in middle school, like, I would look at them and be like, you know, you're actually not that good of a friend. You're not that good of a friend. You're not that good of a friend. And, like, if I really scaled it down, I only had, like, 3 people that I could ultimately trust and, like, you know, talk to about things.
Yeah, there's definitely a difference between making friends and making acquaintances.
Mm-hmm.
Or just making connections, almost even. You know, it's always good to have a, you know, large group of people that you know under your belt. So if you see them, or you ever need something, or, you know, you ever just want to congratulate them or reach out and say happy birthday, you know, you can. But it's also good to have that small group of friends where you just, you know, tell them all the stuff that's on your chest. You know, you have a good support system and you can support them. Like, that's good.
Mm-hmm. And like that's a good point. Like I know a lot of people.
Yeah, but I'm not close friends with a lot of
Yeah, like I'm not like I know all these people. I know and I go and talk to these people, but like the things I say to her and like our friend group, that's just going to stay in the friend group. That's
Yeah.
not leaving anything. And I know it's not going anywhere cuz it's quite literally just those
us.
people.
Yeah.
So I don't have to worry about it going everywhere else. But
And then
everyone
if it
else,
does, you know who it's
You-
coming from because there's what, like 3 of us?
there's 3 of us. Like obviously, you know,
Eeny, meeny, miny,
Miny
mo.
mo. But like at the same time though, like I have all these other people I can still talk to, you know, like if I'm just
Yeah.
walking around campus and I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna go talk to these people.
Sorry, there's a cute child. Sorry guys, this is more of a fun episode. Oh, he's so cute. He's in like a little sweater vest. Okay, anywho.
Anyways, so I have all these other people I can go and talk to, you know, if I feel like I just want to talk to someone, but you know, I'm not gonna go and tell them, oh my god, this is my lore, like this is
No.
everything crazy happening.
That is the worst thing ever, especially if you were in high school or middle school. Everything is so small, you're in such little cliques. It's gonna go everywhere. Because
It
they're
is.
not your friends. They're gonna tell everybody anything, you know?
And
And
then
that's something you have to learn.
exactly. Unfortunately it's a canon event. Like everyone has to learn that lesson the hard way. And
Yeah.
when it does, it sucks. But you know, you learn. It's a lot, and I think it is something. It is a truly valuable lesson to learn.
Right, but just putting yourself out there and making those acquaintances, making those connections, truthfully, it's the best thing you can do for yourself.
And honestly, if these people invite you to go do something, who knows?
Try
you know,
it.
try it out.
You know, don't be a yes girl. Don't say
Yeah,
yes
don't-
to everything, even the things that you're not that you're not comfortable with. But you know, like we go on little adventures all the time.
Yeah,
and we
no.
have so much fun.
Like we were like when all of us were in a classroom together, like we just barely, like we kind of just.
We didn't really talk.
No,
to each
we
other.
did it. We just said, you know, hey, and then we were all thrown into a group chat, and we were like, hey, like let's hang out outside of class, and and only 3 of us applied, and then you know I'm like, sure, I'm just gonna go because why
Right.
not? And now we're all like literally
And
the
those
best
people,
friends.
those people that didn't respond in that group chat, loved them. You know, they're really sweet people. But obviously, you know, they didn't form that connection to us like we all formed together because of that, you know, experience.
Yeah.
So really, just put yourself out there.
And then like looking back at it, it's fun because it's like, what if I never?
Yeah. What if we never talked? What if we never made that group chat?
What if we never went
hung
out? Exactly. So, you know, and you'll know the people you want to hang out with. Like, let's
Exactly.
be real. Reflect on yourself. You know who you are as a person. You know who you want to surround yourself with. And just, you know, please don't be scared to be yourself, if anything.
It's the worst thing ever.
No. Because people are going to love you. The people that you surround yourself with are going to love you just the way you are. So you won't have to feel the need to validate and change yourself and mold yourself into this person to be friends with other people.
Exactly. And then it's just going to cause more issues down the line if you hide who you actually are. And you don't want that. So yeah, just be yourself.
Exactly. Very fun episode.
Yes, Deja definitely took the lead on this one because this one that I do struggle with just a little bit. But
And honestly, everyone probably is.
oh
too.
yeah, absolutely. It's like that. Fake it till you make it. But yeah, so we have multiple forms of social media
We're on TikTok, Instagram, Spotify,
and YouTube.
and YouTube.
Yes,
Thank you.
depending on where you're watching this. Most of our viewers come from YouTube or TikTok, but you know. So yeah, definitely leave us a comment or a like.
Leave us a review on stuff that you'd want to hear or stuff that you're dealing with too, and you just need a little bit of a pick me up and maybe some advice.
Yeah, and definitely if you like our stuff that we post, make sure to give us a follow because then you will get notified about when we upload things and we have some fun stuff in the works. Alright, so I think that is all. So
Bye, babes.